A very special law. And Allah put that. They discover from the Muslims what they're saying. Saleh is not here. Fibonacci's rule. Fibonacci's law. The golden rule. Everything they're saying, this is like a divine code. That's why things are beautiful, because there is a balance there. From a flower to your ear to the seashell to this, to the world. Now there is a balance there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in creating this world, is showing us that when you are creating something, when He is creating that, with the discipline, with the shariat, with the law, with that love, the beauty, it comes out. So it's important for us to understand that. Because if we understand that beauty, we understand that discipline, we understand that something is so delicate, that Allah puts that into every seashell. He puts that into every rose. He puts such delicate beauty in every snowflake. It's so beautiful. How can you not fall in love with your Lord? For a man, this is the real meaning of knowledge. The knowledge, even the knowledge of this world, because snow is a worldly knowledge. Trees is a worldly knowledge. Everything is a worldly knowledge, but every worldly knowledge must lead you to the Creator. If it doesn't lead you to the Creator, you start thinking you are the Creator. First you say there's no Creator, so everything is as is. Then I can do whatever I want to this, because there is no owner. There is an owner of the rain. There is an owner of the snowflake. There's an owner of the grass. It's not us. We didn't create it. Then what am I doing here? Allah has sent us here so that we take care of these things. You stop feeling that you own this world. How can we own this world? Yesterday we were not here. Today we're here. Tomorrow we don't know whether we're going to be here or not. Definitely we're going to die. The one who conquered this whole world, like Iskandar, he said, when I die, I want to make a big lesson to people. He's saying, carry me, don't cover me, and let my arms to come out like this, to show everyone that I am the conqueror of the world, but when I die, I have nothing in my hands. This is very important. How we treat the death, it is very important. Everyone is a Pharaoh now. As the pharaohs, they built elaborate funeral homes, let's say, elaborate graves. Their graves is not preparing them for the afterlife in reality. Their graves is wishing and hoping to make them, to preserve their life, that one day they're going to come back, to continue that. Those are the pharaohs. Everything is to preserve, is not to turn to dust. You understand? Did we come like this? No. Like Allah is saying, we came from a drop of dirty water. From a drop of dirty water. How then should a man be proud? He came from a drop of dirty water and he's going to be turned to dust. Should he be proud? Should he say then that I'm the owner of this whole world? It passes. It doesn't belong to us. It comes into our hand. This is what they call in Islam emanat, trust. It is a trust. That everything that you have, now if a man starts thinking, it is a trust. My wealth is a trust. My faith, it is a trust. My health, it is a trust. My children is a trust. Everything that I think I have is a trust. My body is a trust. I cannot do with my body anything that I want to do with it. It doesn't belong to me. These breaths, 24,000 breaths Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us every single day. It doesn't belong to us. There is an owner. And that owner is saying, make sure that these things that I've given you, you use them properly, you take care of them. Then you're going to pass from this world. When you take care of them, you're going to understand also that this is small reflection of the paradises that I've prepared for you. If you think that one snowflake is so beautiful, and there's untold numbers of snowflakes that's fallen into this world for thousands of years, it says, what you think I have prepared for you on the other side. This is the lowest of the low. So all knowledge in the beginning, it is to make us to understand and to love and to submit and to worship and to discover our Lord more. When that knowledge becomes so-called secular knowledge, it is not like in Christianity where they stop you from studying the world because they say it goes against the Bible. You understand? Islam is completely different. From the beginning to the end is seek knowledge. Go look for everything is a reflection of haqq, of the divine truth. That's why Muslims were not afraid of science. Everything is pointing out. And the Quran, if anything, it is supporting the scientific theories, so many of them that we now know to be true. But the Quran has been saying that for 1400 years. For over 1,000 years, Western world still don't know what happens with, for example, how a baby comes. But the Quran is explaining very clearly, 1400 years ago, how now the development of the fetus in the mother, how now the relationship between blood and milk, all those things that later they discover. Why was there ever a conflict of Islam and knowledge? Never. When did it happen? It happened when the Khilafat fell. Khalifa fell, and now there are evil forces that they make it to make people to think that Islam is backward. Hate yourself, hate your religion, hate your history, and everything that is not from Islam that is coming from the West. Now this is a shining example. So this is a state where Muslims, they become psychotic, half-half, not normal. You understand? So now, as we said yesterday, now we have Muslim scholars who are saying, now we have to explain everything, the Quran and everything, according to science. The science of what? Of over 1,400 years that Islam also discovered the science? No, of Western science, of so many of their theories, especially at that time, some continuing till today, that is based on fallacy, that is based on racism, that is based on wrong ideas and wrong things. Understand? So they're still continuing that. And Muslim scholars are taking, and they're running with it now for over 1 century. So now you have people that they believe one thing in Islam, and then but science is telling them something, and there's no bridge. So they become psychotic. Oh, but look at the Muslim scholars and scientists in the past. There is always a link. If there is no link, the smack of Allah comes. The world, this knowledge of this world too, no matter how high the knowledge of microbes, which by the way, a saint has already discovered that before they actually talk about microbes that discovered recently. From the microbes to the galaxies, this is still the knowledge of this world. It is still the low knowledge. And if you discover that and you are not obeying the laws of Allah, you're not becoming an obedient servant to Allah, you discover everything, and you are not being obedient to your Prophet and living Islam properly, the smack comes to you and everything can be destroyed. That's what they did. That's what they did to Andalusia. 800 years of knowledge. There's high knowledge too of this world and other worlds that they collect. but it's not making you to become good ones. You become drunk. They burnt down all that knowledge. It happened to Andalusia, it happened to Baghdad, it happened to so many Muslim countries, that once you start becoming so proud of yourself and you forget again that there is an owner. Even if you're Muslim, the smack comes to you. You understand? So we have to be very careful now. The Ottomans, they were very careful with these kinds of things. This is the thing. Not only knowledge, but also the skills that you have. They always make a direct link to either a prophet or a friend of Allah or a salihin or an incident. So, if you are a person, for example, you are, let's say, a doctor. You don't just study how to become a doctor. You must also, they will also teach you the spiritual dimension of that, at least that to know. For example, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, he is the pir of this knowledge. He is the head of this knowledge. Because Isa alayhi salam came and he was able to work certain miracles. He cured the blind. He raised the dead. You understand, physically, that kind of things. So they know that there is a pir, there is a head. So they have to ask for that one's blessings also. Because the knowledge that comes into this world too, it belongs to someone. And yes, everything belongs to Allah, but Allah gave it to someone. That is the divine protocol. And that one, then it passes to us. Don't you see, even our birth, even our existence in this world, we don't come directly from the other world to here with no one. We came through several generations. We came through our own parents. Correct? So now knowledge is passing down there like that. So they know. And whatever that you are doing, there is a knowledge in this world, there is a work. They are going to now ask for the blessings, spiritual blessings of that one who is in charge of that knowledge. Now, so much knowledge in this world, there is a disconnect. There is breaking now from that other worlds, from the world of the angels and from the divine world. Now, that's why people are taking every knowledge, every technology, using it only for their own ego, to proclaim only their own greatness. But death is certain. So today people, they are Firauns. In the old days, it's only one Firaun. Every few years, long time, then he dies, then they put him in. Now everybody, they want to, if anything, they want to have a grand funeral. And the funeral, they say, no, this is not death, this is celebration of life. Bruh, this life, Allah is not giving value to this world. He gives more value to one wing of a mosquito than the value of this world. What life we're celebrating? Huh? And so, when mankind gets drunk like that, they don't understand that reality. They don't want to enter into that world. They still want to get stuck. That's why today's people, majority, they are Firauns and the Namruds. When we die, we get wrapped up in a white piece of cloth to know now, what are we? Did we come with, no. We didn't come with all these things, with all this wealth, with that. We came. We're going from a drop of dirty water and we're going to end up to be dust. This is our physical reality. We're not going to concentrate so much on the physical reality because it's turning into a dust. You're going to concentrate on that Allah has put in us that can make that dust, that mud, to become alive. And that is called the Spirit. May Allah protect us and open the way for us to understand more, to bring the enemies of Haqq down, inshallah, to give us more sincerity and more protection for us and the good ones and our children, and for us to be able to live Haqq and to die for the sake of Haqq. May Allah raise the station of our Shaykh, inshallah. May his feet always be on us. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha.